Hey, it's Steven for Futurelooks.com, and we are at CES 2014 in Las Vegas. This is episode 3 of our coverage, and we have a whole lot more to share with you about stuff for people who like computers. Let's go have a look. As we've already seen this week at CES 2014, InWin is really into building truly unique products for the PC DIY market. We've seen a case that's made of tempered glass and aluminum, and we've also seen a really uniquely finished power supply. Now I want to introduce you to a new friend from InWin. His name is Mr. Bubble. Hi, Mr. Bubble. Mr. Bubble is a headphone holder that is made completely of hand-blown glass. He's born in Taiwan, and every one of his brothers is unique. And this all retails, every single one in any of these colors, for around $60. And that kind of shows off some more about InWin's work with glass. They can do pretty much anything. Next up, we're going to be checking in with ASUS, so let's have a look at some of their new products too. We're here with ASUS to check out some new products that they have at the show. One of the products is based on NVIDIA's G-Sync. I've got Nick over here to explain a little bit more about this really cool monitor that you have there.
We are looking at the first ROG monitor, and it also supports G-Sync. And on top of that, it is the world's first WQHD supporting G-Sync monitor. So as you can see, it is a thin bezel all the way around, and we have some ROG branding down at the bottom here. It's got a 1 millisecond response time, up to 144 hertz refresh rate. It's going to come out in March for around $799.
That's a really competitive price. I've seen a lot of monitors out there, and for that resolution, it's really hard to beat that price, especially since you're getting a lot more pixels.
Exactly. We hope that that'll entice gamers to really be able to experience what G-Sync has to offer and really see the difference between V-Sync on, V-Sync off, and then actually playing with G-Sync and being able to completely eliminate all the blurring and tearing that you would usually get.
Great. Now, are there any plans to integrate NVIDIA's other gaming technology, 3D Vision 2, into the panel?
I don't have any information about that at this time.
Not a problem. Right now, speaking of gamers, PC enthusiasts are also part of that market, and we've got a product over here that looks like it's going to be really great for your next build.
We do have a 4-inch LED LCD, and this is called our ROG front-based dual bay gaming panel. So what this will do, this will hook up to a specialized header on our motherboards, and we can kind of see the threaded cable here run into the bottom of the motherboard. This is a Rampage 4 Black Edition. It is also supporting on the top end Z87, so Maximus 6 formula. And control-wise on the front here, you'll see that you'll have a big knob. You'll have access to CPU frequency. You'll have access to full control of all the CPU and all the chassis headers, as well as access to temperature monitoring for the CPU and the motherboard itself, and other features like volume control and an escape button to escape you out of a game and return you immediately to desktop if you don't want to find someone to find out you've been gaming all day, as well as some audio outs and USB and just a whole new way to give you your functionality at the front of your computer instead of having to go into the UEFI BIOS or into a software tuner inside.
And also another way for PC enthusiasts to build a more unique system, another way to customize their rig, right?
Exactly.
Now, I couldn't help but notice there's a graphics card in here with 2 water cooling barbs. I remember something about this, some press release at Computex. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Sure. So what we're looking at here is the ASUS Poseidon GTX 780. So as you can see, if we get a lower angle, you would see 2 fans, and one of those is a Cooltech fan, and the other one is a dust-free fan or dust-proof fan. And then you see right alongside the edge of the PCB, you have your inlet and outlet, since there is a water block on top of there too. So it really gives the users the option to pick and choose. Hey, I want to water cool, I want to air cool, maybe I want to air cool, and maybe I want to water cool in the future, but I'm not sure. It just gives you a lot more flexibility.
Right on. Now, as far as pricing and availability goes, what are we looking at?
On the Poseidon, we should see availability by the end of January. Pricing, I do not have a set number for yet.
So probably a little bit higher than normal.
A little bit higher than the standard card, yeah.
Excellent. Now, how about the panel over here? Let's touch on pricing on that.
Pricing on that in North America should come in around $79.
So not too bad at all.
Not too bad.
Next up, we're checking in with Corsair, and they've got a really colorful keyboard to show off to us. Let's go have a look. One of the things that they're showing off is kind of a lower price point model of a keyboard that was very popular. We saw it at PAX Prime 2013 in Seattle, and it's called the K50 right here. This was a $99 keyboard. It comes with rubber dome keycaps and also backlighting, and it was really popular. It's a great looking keyboard, but a lot of people want something a little bit more affordable, so that's why we have the new Raptor K40. Now the Raptor K40 comes with the same rubber key domes, backlighting and everything like that, same great features in the software, but it comes at a much lower $79.99 price point that makes it more affordable for a lot more gamers. Next up, they've updated the Raptor M40 mouse with the Raptor M45. The main difference between the two mice is, of course, the sensor. The new sensor is 5,000 dpi. The original one was around 4,000. So with that new sensor, you get a little more performance, but you get the same great feel. The mouse has remained more or less the same, but you do get more performance in the sensor. MSRP on this one is $59.99. This will be available in February, and the keyboard will be available in January. But what we're really excited about is this brand new keyboard concept that they've got showing off at CES 2014 in partnership with Cherry, and I gotta tell you, it's fantastic. Let's go have a look at that. You know, the Corsair K70 is a fantastic gaming keyboard with your choice of red, blue, and brown mechanical switches from Cherry, which are the standards in mechanical keyboards for gamers. This K70 retails for about $129.99, has backlighting and everything. It's a really lovely looking keyboard, but is there anything more that you can do with the keys and the mechanical keys? Well, there certainly is, and I've got Jason over here to show us something that's, you know, absolutely spectacular. It's fantastic looking, and what can you tell me about this new key that Cherry has co-developed with you?
Well, like you said, a new key from Cherry. It's called the Cherry MX RGB switch, and that was one thing that, you know, as soon as we released a mechanical keyboard with single color backlighting, everybody always said, when are you guys going to do RGB? We want RGB. But now this is the world's first Cherry MX RGB mechanical gaming keyboard. So what makes this keyboard unique is that each switch on the keyboard, or each keycap, you'll be able to change the color between 16.8 million. You'll be able to change the brightness and also the pulsing effect. And this is made possible by a new construction of switch from Cherry. So German engineered, made in Germany, so you know the quality is going to be top notch. It's rated for 50 million key presses. We're going to make this available in the same switch types as the K70, so blues, browns, and reds. We'll have various effects like reactive typing, ripple, wave, to be able to adjust the color of the keyboard. It's going to be fully programmable, not just for color, but you can assign macros, redesign the matrix of the keyboard, new software to go. So we're really throwing the gauntlet as this keyboard to really make it the most customizable and the best gaming keyboard ever created, really.
So as far as the customization goes, you can do the basic things like the pulsing and the per key, everything, but it looks like you can also do some really advanced things like putting your name across there to even graphics and everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, you'll be able to, within the software, it's very complex once you peel the layers down. So yeah, you can get in there and spell your name out. You can do effects of, you know, like a blood effect trickling down. If you get in there, because it's if we don't allow you to do it through the software, we don't want to limit anybody of what they can do. This is a total open architecture software. So if someone wanted to create their own software or do their own scripting, they can do that from this package. It's totally open architecture.
Awesome. Now I know that you can't talk about pricing yet, but as far as availability of this particular keycap in upcoming Corsair keyboards, when's that going to be?
It's going to be mid-2014.
Now we're going to check in with Thermaltake to see some of the new PC cases, power supplies, and of course cooling that they're known for. We're checking out some new Thermaltake products, and I've got Shannon Robb, the new marketing manager over at the company. How's it going, Shannon?
It's going good. How about you, Stephen?
Good, good. Now, as I understand, you have some new products to show off to us, in particular new cases. What can you tell me about the new cases?
Well, we've decided to go really big because we've always done a lot of very value along with some enthusiast cases, but we never really went super big, just like crazy liquid cooling, things like that. And we really wanted to push that market and show what we can really do when we put our minds to creating something that just can fit massive amounts of liquid cooling. So this is where we came up with our Urban T81, and this one is basically what I would call a extreme hybrid chassis. It can do amazing air cooling and liquid cooling. So you'll notice, like here, I built a full custom liquid cooling, and you can fit either 140 based or 120 based radiators, so you can fit 360 or 420 size radiators in the top and front, along with a 140 or 120 rad in the back. And even in the bottom, if you remove the drive bays, you can even fit there as well. All the drive bays all come out, all the racking all comes out of here, and you can actually see in our air-cooled version right here that all the drive bays are there, and they're all removable. They're all modular bays, so you can remove them as needed to fit other devices, pumps, radiators, cylinder reservoirs, or whatnot. And at default, these cases come with two 200mm fans up front and one in the top. So even out of the box, it's going to do amazing amounts of airflow, but being such large fans means it's not going to make a lot of noise either.
What kind of price point are we looking at for these larger cases?
Okay, well, this one hits the market at MSRP of $189.99 right now. But we also have another model to show you, which is the Core V71. This is going back to the Core basic, just huge chassis to fit a lot of stuff. And you'll notice, while it is a big diminutive case, it's not super tower-like like some cases you see on the market. We still keep it at a reasonable size, but we give you a maximum amount of interior space, along with a large window, which is something popular with a lot of case modders and people who want to show off a crazy system like this. So therefore, you add lighting, liquid cooling, all this crazy stuff. You can pull all the dry bays out again, and you just have a super clean, big opening to do whatever you want. Along with, we even include drive mounting on the rear, so that if you remove all the drive bays, you still can run 2 full-size drives, which is something that's been missing for quite a while. With the rear-mounted drives, a lot of times you see SSD mounting or 2.5 mounting, but you don't see any larger drives. We know that, you know, sometimes you want the huge capacity while still having a huge system like this, so we gave you the option to do either or. With the air-cooled model, you have a lot of drive storage if you're just doing an air-cooled setup, and it still comes with the same as the Urban T81. The Core V71 also comes with 200mm, 200mm, and 200mm here, along with a 140 on the back. And that comes straight out of the box. That comes straight out of the box like that. But these are blue LED fans as well, so these kind of give a little different appearance than more just sleek, stylish that you get used to with the Urban.
Great. Now, what kind of MSRP are we looking at for this case?
This one is, you can see right here, it's $159.99 target MSRP for this one, which I feel is a really good value for anyone looking to build just a huge enthusiast level case of this style. That price is really, it puts it in a really competitive part in the market that we can do, I think this can do really well at.
Now, I also understand you have some more price-conscious versions of these cases, so let's have a look at those. Now, last year, Thermaltake announced the Urban series, and now they've got a couple more cases. They're a little bit more price-conscious. What can you tell me about them, Shannon?
Okay, well, originally the Urban S series was the one with the recessed front, where you can see the door was kind of like a separate component, and it was recessed in, almost like the front of, let's say, like a fighter jet engine. Just had a really nice styling aesthetic to it. But we felt, you know, we also wanted to go even sleeker. So with the T series, you can see that the door is melded into the front panel, but it's still there. It's still functional. But it just gives it a lot more of a sleek, so you won't even know it's there appearance. And we have multiple models. This is actually the T21, one of the smallest of the T series, but we also have the T31 and larger moving forward. And if you wanted the Urban look, but you didn't want the door, we even have the R series, which you can see right here. It carries the same design aesthetic of the T, but you can see the open drive bays are right there. So it just kind of takes away the door element, because some people just don't care for doors, so we wanted to give you the option depending on what kind of styling you wanted, while still offering a competitive price point of, you can see it's $59.99 for the R21 and $69.99 for the one with the door, the T21.
So it looks like you have a pretty complete range of cases for CES 2014. You've got the large cases on the Urban T81 side with all the radiator, big fan compatibility. You've got Core 71 series, which also has similar compatibility for big fans and also radiators. And now you've got something affordable for everyone in the Urban R21 and T21. Now, can I ask you, can you elaborate on availability for all these cases?
Okay, well, availability is going to vary depending on the case. These, the Urban, the smaller cases, are actually going to be available either now or very soon, whereas figure the T81, V71, those are more targeted around the March timeframe, so figure right around beginning of Q2, middle of Q2, you'll start to see those show up in the market.
That's great. Now, we were also going to look at something new in power supplies. Thermaltake has their take on the digital power supplies, and let's go have a look at that right now. Now, Thermaltake seemingly was the last to the market in terms of digital power supplies, but that's actually not true, is it?
Well, you know, we've had a digital design for the actual hardware component itself for a while, but we really wanted to work on one of the key components, because once you put your power supply in your case, most people, you never see it again. You put it in there, it just does its thing. However, one part you see is on your screen. Now, that's where we really wanted to perfect it. We didn't want just an interface app. We wanted something that would mirror something you use every day, like your cell phone, your tablet. So we wanted something smooth. Like you see here, this app, the DPS app, is designed from the ground up to be straight up just a amazing looking interface, easy to use. Anyone, your mom, grandma, it doesn't matter. It's not hard. Big, huge buttons. You select what you want to see. You can custom set it. You can set whether you want Fahrenheit, Celsius for your monitoring, or let's say your cost. If you want to see how much it's costing you, you can set it according to your kilowatt hour, how much it's going to cost you, according to your bill. You can watch everything all the way down to the wattage, your efficiency. All this stuff can all be monitored at real time, and it's a super clean design, real easy to work with, and you can even keep records of how your system's performing. So all these guys who are now doing mining rigs, you know, all these huge Litecoin, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, whatever you may be working on at this point, you can actually show off, because a lot of people go through forums, educate people on how to set their systems up for efficiency. You can actually monitor how much you're making on that kind of system, or even if you just have your gaming rig, you can be, you know what, it costs me this much to play games for, let's say, 2 hours, and you can not just record it, but this keeps a full database in your system. You can share it via Twitter, Facebook, even email. You can send it to a friend if they have the same kind of setup, so they can actually see how yours is running versus theirs. You can compare, contrast to kind of figure out maybe you're running better than them, and maybe you can even assist them to make it better. Overall, we just want to give superior and ultimate functionality to the end user, not just a power supply that works well, but also the interface that works awesome for you.
Now that looks really great, and I know that a lot of people are going to enjoy this interface because it's just so easy to use. In terms of which power supplies are getting this particular upgrade, can you elaborate on that just a little bit?
All of the DPS, digital power supplies, will have it. So the whole DPS line will have this feature because it does require the the actual USB interconnect, whether it's wireless, which we do have wireless options as well, or the wired options. Both of them will support the DPS app. As long as you have that interface, you can use the software.
Now, what does pricing start at?
Figure enthusiast grade, you know, that's where a lot of people are going to see this, you know, especially, and $269.99 for a 1050. Or if you wanted your just standard gold wired edition, that's $850. It's $219.99.
Now, these are available now, or are they going to be an upgrade down the road?
Actually, the 850 and 750 are available now. However, the 1050, 1250 will be coming soon. Then the wireless versions and whatnot are definitely coming down the pipe within the next couple months, next quarter or so.
Perfect. Now, next up, we're going to look at some fan innovations that Thermaltake has been working on, so let's check it out. At the show, Thermaltake was also showing off a range of new fans that, you know, kind of gets them back to where they started from, which was cooling. Here you see the near peer 12 and 12 LED fans, and also the 20 and 20 LED fans here. So these are 200 millimeter fans that come in both LED and non-LED versions, and also the 120 millimeter fans here that feature LEDs and no LEDs, but also the rubberized grommets and everything to reduce the noise in your system here. Prices range from $699 to $1499 for these guys, and they should be a really great complement to your existing Thermaltake case, or even a new case that you're building up with a specific look. The other thing that they're showing off is an update to their NIC series coolers here. They have the NIC L31 and the NIC L32. Obviously, the difference is, of course, the fan size. This one here comes with 160 watts of dissipation, and this one here is 180 watts of dissipation. Both of them are non-interference, and that's part of the name, which is NIC, which is non-interference CPU cooler. And they don't get in the way of your RAM modules, they don't get in the way of your CPU socket. They're just low profile so that you can get maximum cooling with a big cooler without getting all caught up in the hardware that you've picked out here. But one of the most interesting products that we've seen at CES 2014 from Thermaltake is, of course, their alpha stage water cooling solution, which is for DIY users that want to start getting into the liquid cooling market. This is, again, completely alpha stage, and what they wanted to do was create a very affordable and just upgradable system with industry standard fittings and everything here. No pricing or availability yet, but their goal is to create something that's both a good performer, good value, and also ease of upgradability in case you want to upgrade the radiator or any of the pumps or anything, or the fittings or the tubing down the road. In episode 2, we stopped by Cooler Master to see what they had, and now we're going to see some more stuff from Cooler Master. Let's go have a look at that. I've got Rajiv over here. He's going to take us through some updates and some new products from their peripheral line right here, and they are looking pretty good. What do you got for us, Rajiv?
Yeah, so one of the big things is typically CM Storm is Cooler Master's gaming line, and in 2014 we're kind of blurring that line. We're going back to all kind of Cooler Master stuff. So going forward, you're going to hear more Cooler Master and less kind of CM Storm. But one of the things is we're still going to bring back some of the most classic Storm line products. For example, our Trigger Z, and then also we have our Cyrus C, which is more of a console version of our popular Cyrus headset. And we also have our Havoc gaming mouse, which is more of an MMO oriented, but without all the fancy buttons on the side. However, it does have a modifier key, which allows you to do that. So it's a laser sensor. These are just some updates to existing product. Now, you know, obviously at CES, we want to show like the more exciting and newer products. So what we do have is our now Rapid I and Quickfire Rapid SI. And these are illuminated 10 keyless keyboards, but they have a unique function. They actually have an ARM 32-bit processor in them for unique functionality like so. So
you mean like the smartphone?
Exactly. Now we have like reactive lighting, so when you type, you can kind of get this like reactive light effect. And then for those that want something a little bit cooler, we have like this almost ghosting effect here. So the ARM processor allows you to do that, as well as you can actually customize your whatever key sets you want. So if you want to spill out like Futurelooks on your keyboard when you're doing your videos, you can totally do that. So
that's in the software, right?
No, it's all hardware based. It's
Seriously?
all saved on the hardware. There's no software whatsoever. It's completely built in. And we also have a stealth version, which is the front printed keycaps, which makes a really sleek design. I think the big thing for these type of keyboards and why they're 10 keyless is they're built for portability, to take it on the go, LAN gamers, you know, professionals who want to just have a better feeling at work with a mechanical keyboard. And we wanted to just continue adding more functionality, and this is stuff we get directly from feedback from people, you know, like the reviewers, but also the end users. So
I'm looking at this mouse over here, and it looks very familiar.
I like to call it a classic design. It's one of the classic gaming designs, and I think when people put their hands on it, they'll know exactly what we're talking about. And this is the Mizar and Alcor, and they're basically almost exactly the same mouse. You'll notice the shape, everything about them is the same. However, one is a laser and one is an optical. And the reason why we did that is one is designed specifically for mouse enthusiasts. You know, we've talked a lot to them, we got their feedback. It uses the Avago 3090 flawless sensor. And then we have the laser version, which has more of the LEDs and is a higher DPI, and just people who want that. So we understand that there is a segment that wants different things. However, we know that unanimously through our countless research that this design is a very popular one. So we decided to just double up and make the value there for anybody.
So pretty much something for everyone, right?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, right, you don't want to just kind of have a product and miss out on everybody. We think that this design is great and lightweight, fits in your hand perfectly, nice and small. Hey, why not? So
why not? Now, as far as pricing and availability goes, the new updates are going to be similar price, or are they going to be more? How's that going to work out?
No, they're going to be similarly priced. Now, the big star for us is our new Nova Touch keyboard, and this is really for the keyboard enthusiast. We work very diligently with that community, and this is a unique hybrid capacitive switch. So it's not like the typical Cherry MX key switches that you feel. This is a electrostatic in a way, and this is a very exclusive technology for Cooler Master because it actually has backwards compatibility with Cherry MX key sets. So those collectors who have unique keycaps, skulls, or whatever they want, you know, PBTs, they can all add them on here with backwards compatibility. And really what the focus of this is how it feels. It's almost a very luxurious, almost like ivory keys on a piano, and I think when people touch it, it really gives a unique feel and experience. Now, I don't know if you've ever tried these before, but I would highly recommend that you try them out.
Can I try them now?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, man, it feels like piano lessons when I was 5 because I'm Asian, right?
Is that like bad memories coming into play?
Oh,
right?
they're bad. Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. They definitely feel almost like ivory keys on a piano, and that's I guess that adding to the customization, adding to the options for players, that they have this 4th or 5th option out there, right?
I think at the end of the day, there's a user that wants everything. I mean, for a keyboard, you use it every day. Why not go for the customized experience? Which is why we do the different types of mechanical switches. Which is why we're branching out to the newer switch types, like the hybrid capacitive switch. We just want to find out what people want.
Obviously, you're going to keep us up to date on the pricing and availability of all these products. And of course, there's a lot of different products here. And one of the things that I heard is that you guys are going to be helping gamers, enthusiasts figure out which keyboard, which key switch. You guys have something called CM University. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so cmuniversity.net is kind of this initiative that we had is like, you know, we introduce all these technologies all the time, but then at the end of the day, people just may not know what they are. So we've kind of come up with a whole breakdown, a website that kind of breaks it down. This is our brochure version, but it not only breaks down the technology, but the products that will benefit from that. And this is all community sourced information. This is stuff that you find on wikis, and we work with the community, and we don't try to just be like corporate shills in a way. We just really want people to understand, hey, there's a value to this, and this is how you can understand it, and if it relates to you, then here's the right product for you to kind of find out what's going to be best for you.
Well, I'm sure that helps a lot of users not only get over what to pick, but it also kind of demystifies and also makes sure, certainly, that they're getting the right product rather than complaining that they've got the wrong switch or the wrong mouse, right?
The worst thing you can do is, like, you know, when they buy it and then they're like, well, they bought a blue switch, but they hate the click. Well, the blue switch is always going to click. Any blue switch you get is going to click. So let's find the right switch for you. Maybe you like red, maybe you like brown, but in order for them to understand that, there has to be that information available. And it's funny because I always feel like, you know, we're almost in our own bubble, yes. Enthusiast bubble. Yes. And so we're reaching out to new users, kind of the new generation, you know, the guys who are arguing Xbox One or PS4. It's like, no, how about PC? You know, how about Steambox?
Yeah. And that's our third episode of coverage from CES 2014 in Las Vegas about all the computer stuff that you actually care about. I'm Steven with Futurelooks.com. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for episode 4 coming up really soon. Take care.